how to take input, how to write output, IO. Now, Java is object oriented. Any existing thing can be made as an object in my application, right? So I have a file on my file system in my C drive. Let's say I have a.txt file. What I want to do is I want to represent the physical file on the hard drive as an object in my application. Yes, that is possible by using a class called as java.io.file. There is a class called as java.io. In a package java.io package, here there is a class called as file. By using this file, if you can create a file object, you will be able to represent a physical existing file as an object in your application, right? Suppose if you want to delete that file, yes, you can do. You call delete method on this object, the file will be deleted. You want to create a file again, you can call a method on this object. So by manipulating this object in memory, you are actually doing same operation of existing physical file, right? Let us now talk sometime about files. Okay. So what I want to do is in my fcall mysys, on the first day we have written hello world.java. What I want to do is I want to read this file and print it. This is a content, right? Now what I want to do is I want to make a file which represents file object which represents this file. Going here, I'm creating a new project. You can also create a new project parallelly with me. 06 file. Next, finish. Okay. So new class. I'll say file demo. com.mysys. I'll give the package. And I'll say file demo. Here I'll try to create an object of file new. From now onwards, the programming style, please follow this programming style, you will be in a good position. Whenever you are creating an object, first use new and press control space. Don't write a single line. Even though you are good at typing, also don't type. Use always control space. It's a good practice. Control space. I have a file. See, first what you have to do is you have to observe what all constructors are available. There is a constructor of file which is taking string. There is a constructor which is taking URI object. Right? The easiest one is to see string. Right? If we see the documentation of file class, there is a constructor of file which is taking, see, name of the path, right? So this is the easiest way to create a file object. First thing what you need to observe is what all constructors are there and what is the best constructor which you can use. So I'll use file which is taking the path. I'll give f colon mysys. You can give your own folder, any of your folder, // why 2 slashes? You should be able to tell. Hello world dot, I'll say dot class first, dot java dot class, both are there. I am just pointing it to. So now I will have a file object. I'll take it in a reference. If I am using control space, automatically import is generated. If you are typing it, you have to manually type the import. So always use control space. Whenever you are typing a class name, use control space and select, so that imports will be automatically generated. Otherwise, you will get compilation errors without imports. Right? System.out.println f dot can write. Okay. Now I'll just run it. Yeah, that file is having write permissions. So then f dot can execute. Can you execute this file or not? It can. It will return a boolean, right? Now there is a method called as f dot delete. What it does? Delete the file or directory. It will delete that file. So if you call f dot delete, the file will be deleted. F dot delete is returning what? Boolean. If the file is deleted successfully, it will return true, else false. True. So the file should be deleted. Let's see. Oh, earlier there was hello world dot class file here. Now it's not, that is deleted, right? But now I want to create a file with same name again. Just see if there is any method. F dot create new file, right? Yeah. Now coming here, it's giving an error. Why? You are specifying, right? You are specifying. You are asking to create a new file with this name. It is deleted. I want a new dot class file with same name and same extension. Only file, no contents. Empty file, dummy file should be. Why is it throwing an exception? Why is it giving an error? See, if you keep your cursor here, it says unhandled exception of the IO exception. That means the method is telling to me I will not be able to create a file always, because what if I use Z drive which is not on my system? I don't create a file on Z drive which is not existing. So this method may not work always. So that's why it's saying I am trying. So I can handle it by keeping a try catch block, or I can declare that this mean. So now I'll make this mean to throw. Declare that it throws, add throws declaration. So now I'll just run, let's see. Yeah, it ran successfully. I'll go again here. Are you seeing? Hello world.class, but 0 KB. File is created with no contents inside it, right? But what if I give Z drive, which is not existing? I should see an exception. The system cannot find the path specified. Right? Now tell me, from an operating system perspective, a directory is also a file. Do you agree? Directory is also a file which can contain some other files. For an operating system, directory also is a file, right? So by using same file object, you can point it to a directory also, right? So now what I'll do is I'll just say f colon mysys. It's a directory, is it? Okay. I just want to check whether this f object is pointing to directory or file. So how to do? Just tell me. Is there any method to find whether f object is pointing to a directory or is it pointing to a file? Just check f dot. It's a good practice to check the methods. Yes, is directory. F dot. There's a method called as is directory, is file, is hidden. By seeing the methods itself, you can understand what it is. So if you want to find whether it's a directory or not, you can just print like this, is directory. Now just keep it in a system.out.println is directory plus f dot is directory. Just run it. Yeah, is directory is fine. Now I'll just say f colon mysys slash slash x. Is that directory existing? No. So now I'll run by saying, and what I'll do is exist. I just want to say whether that is really existing or not. Is there any method? F dot exists will return true or false accordingly. Does not exist, is it? So if that is not existing, I want it to be created, right? So by using f dot exists, you can check whether file is existing or not. So if that is not existing, I want that to be created. So what I'll do is, if f dot exists, and I'll use a not symbol. That means if the file does not exist, then I'll say I want to make a directory with that name, f dot mkdir. As you know, mkdir is for make directory. If you want to create a single directory, you can say mkdir. Just run it. Let's see. X is created. Folder X is created. So you can create a folder by using, you can create a directory by using mkdir, right? But now I will give a path like this: f colon myc slash x slash y slash z slash a slash b slash c, right? I want all these directories to be created. Yes. Actually, these all directories are not there. So I want all the directories to be created. I can say f dot mkdirs make directories. Mkdir for making one directory. Mkdirs. So it will make all the directories. Let's see. I have executed it. In X there is Y. In Y there is Z. In Z there is A. There is B, C. Right? All the directories are created automatically. If you say mkdirs, just try. In f colon mysys directory, right? I have some directories, Eclipse, videos, WSNX, and some files. I want you to print all the directory names and files. Just see the documentation and understand if there is any method which you can call and print on file. Make it habit to see the documentation and do it. I will not tell it. I told you to use another for loop whenever you are iterating over an array. This will be very convenient to use this file for loop. That's all. This is a simple program to print all the file names and directories inside that. Yep, see? It has printed all the file names and directories inside that folder. See here in f colon mysys, there is one directory called as Eclipse. Eclipse is having some files and again some more directories. Again directories. Again directories. So now what I want you to do is, I want you to recursively go through each of the directories. Write a program which will recursively go through each of the directories and print all the files and directories. Right? Everything under C colon F colon mysys. In Eclipse there is some folder, another there might be some folder, right? So what you need to do is, you have to create a file object. I'll just give you a hint. There is a method called as list files. You will be getting an array of, right? You will iterate through each file, and if you want to check whether that file is a directory or not, you know, f dot each directory will give you file directory, or each file will give you, right? You write your I don't want to tell the logic, write your logic. I want you to print all the directories and file names recursively. Again I am giving a hint, recursively. Let use recursion here. So I am writing the logic here. So what I want to do is I want to call a function recursively. I will just define another function, public static. Why static? Because I want to call it from main directly. Public static void display files in directory. See, by seeing the method name itself, the people should understand what this method is doing. So naming convention is very important. From now onwards you practice it. Okay, so display files in directory, file directory path. See, the variable name also says it's a directory path, right? Then now I'm saying, and from here main, what I'll do is I'll say display files in directory. So I'll say anyway I'm getting a directory. Now what I will do is I'll say directory path. Okay, directory I'll say inside directory. Directory dot list files. I'll be getting an array of all the files. Files in directory. Then I will loop through this array. For each file, in files and directory, I just check if file dot is directory, then again I'll call display and I'll pass the file. Else I'll say system.out.println file dot. See, there are various methods. Get name will just give the name of the file, and if you say get absolute path, it will give you the whole path. Okay, but will it print the directory names now? No. So what I'll do is I'll just write the same thing here also. Right? I'll just run it. See, it's printing all the file names recursively, right? Just check if you have written a similar. So the next thing what I want to do is I want to read from a file and write to a file. First I'll do reading, then I'll show you how to write. I have in my C drive, in my F drive, hello-world.java is there. I want to read from this file, right? See, I'll just draw a diagram, just understand it. This is the actual physical file, which is containing some bytes. File will contain bytes only. This is my JVM, which is running. JVM memory, JVM application. So the bytes in this file should flow from here and come here. That's what I mean by read. The bytes should come from here, and they should flow from here, from there to here, so that I can read it. Flow of something is called as stream. Flow of something is called as stream. Flow of water we call water stream, or flow of river is called river stream, right? So flow of bytes is called byte stream. Okay, so I want the bytes to flow from here to here. So if bytes have to flow, I want a byte stream, right? So by using streams in Java, we can read bytes and we can write, right? There are two types of streams: input stream, output stream. This is my JVM, right? If I want to read, I want the stream to come here, input stream. So if I want to read, I require input stream. If I want to write, there are two types of streams in Java: input stream and output stream. So there are two classes representing the streams. Coming back to this documentation, input stream is a class. By using this input stream, we can read and write. So to read, I want an object of input stream. To write, I want an object of output stream. Right? First, concentrate here. I'll give you time to type. First, I will type and show you the example. Then you can type. Otherwise, you will be confused between typing and listening. Right? First, listen. If you understand the logic, everything will be easy. So to read from a file, I want an object of input stream. But can I create an object of input stream? Input stream is abstract class. I cannot create an object of input stream. So whenever you are seeing the documentation, you first have to see, can I create an object? No, it cannot be created. So if we cannot create, let's see directly on subclasses. Tell me, is there anything to read from a file? File input. So I want to read from a file. You can use file input stream subclass. So let's go ahead. I'll just click on it. Okay, file input stream is subclass of input stream. And let's see. Yeah, there are some constructors. There is one constructor of file input stream. To take file object. Yeah, I can create a file object. Right? And again, there are lot of methods inside file input stream. There is one method called as read. What does read method do if I call once? It will read a byte of data from the input stream. It will read 1 byte. Suppose if the file size is 1 KB, kilobyte. How many times do I need to call byte read method? 1024 times I need to call. Right? So whenever I call read method, it will give me 1 byte. Byte will be read, but I will be given it as a right? But how do I know whether end of file is reached or not? Just click on this read method. See here. What is it returning? Next byte of data or -1 if end of the file is. So let's see. Now I'll write a simple program. Just see now. I'll give you time for doing it. So I'll just write new class file read demo. I'll take main. So I want to read from a file. So what the object, see the approach also, how I am creating the objects. Approach also is important. So I want to read. First thing I have blankly in my mind is I want to read. To read, I know input stream, but I saw input stream is abstract class. I understood file input stream is that. So I'll try to create an object. New. I'll just act as if I don't know anything. How to find out? File. First new. File input. File input stream, there are 3 constructors. Which constructor I can use? The first constructor. Okay. It requires a file object. Okay. I'll say new file. File object requires path. So I will say f colon mysys slash hello world.java. So I want to read from this file. Okay, I'll take it in a variable. First of all, here I am getting an error, unhandled. The constructor itself is throwing an exception. Can a constructor throw an exception? Yes, exception is possible everywhere. Yes, constructor also. So the constructor of file input stream is throwing an exception saying file is not found. What if you give a wrong file name? File not found exception will be found, right? So right now it's always a good practice to handle exceptions. But right now, to make the code look simple, to make it readable, I'll make my main method to throw file not found exception. So add throws. I take it in file input stream. Yes. Now in this there is a read method, fis dot read. What is read method returning? Int. see if I read method is throwing IO exception. IO exception. No, see here. Okay. Now tell me, earlier the main was throwing file not found exception. But now just if main throws IO exception, the compiler is satisfied by file not found is a class of IO exception. So its method can throw IO exception super class is equal to subtext. Right? Okay. So FIS.read, what is it returning? Int reads a byte of data. In the documentation it says returns next byte of data or -1 if end of file is reached. So int data is equal to, right? Now if end of file is reached, it will return -1. So what I will do is I will write a while loop while what until data not equals to -1 system.out.println print ln. I will print a new line after every byte. So I will say print data. Then I need to read next byte of data. Right? Read first byte of data. Is it -1? No. Print it. Again read next byte. Is it -1? No. We will into the loop until end of file. When end of file is reached, -1 data will be -1. Right? So let me run it. I'll just check whether it will work or not. Oh, it's printing numbers. Why? It isn't. But actually I know that is a char. So what I'll do is I'll typecast it to char. I know that they are chars. Now this is the one in my hello world.java. Right? So I just showed a simple example to how to read from a file by using file input stream. Just do it. I will show you how to write. You can go to source and say organize imports. Automatically unnecessary import statements will be removed. Otherwise you can do it, you can remove it manually also. But if there are a lot of imports, using this shortcut will be right. Now you know how to read from a file by using file input stream. I told for writing what is the stream? File output stream. So now I gave you a hint. See file output stream class in documentation. Right? In file input stream there is a method called as read. In file output stream similar method will be guess. See the documentation of write method and modify the same code to write it to a new file. Read the same file. You have written anyway to read this hello world.java. Write the same file to other file. Right? You have a new file. I want the same contents to be written to another file. By using file output stream, see the write method of file output stream and do it. So what I will do is I will try to create an object of file output stream. I will say new file output stream. File output stream requires a file object. See there are two constructors, one which requires file and see there is one which requires name of the file. This is easier to use. You can use either this or this, but I will use the easiest one and I will say new file output stream f colon mysys slash test.java. File output stream. Then here I read one byte and writing to console. Here I will say FOS file output stream dot write and pass that. Right? That's all. I'll run it. Test.java should be created. Yeah, I got test.java with same contents. Yes. Read out. Tell me, is it a good program? Is it an efficient program? Do you find any problem with this code? You are getting the outputs fine, but you need to consider efficiency also. What is the problem with this code if you find anything? Yes. Very good. So read operations, IO operations are costly for an operating system. For communicating with an IO device, what the operating system will do? It has to generate an interrupt to the IO device. Then lot of things. So reading and writing, communicating with IO device is very slow. Of course, CPU is so fast. So anyway, reading 1 byte, writing 1 byte, reading 1 byte, writing 1 byte. It's too costly. How many? If my file size is 1 KB, 1024 read operations, 1024 write operations. Too costly, right? So this program is not good. Now the idea is, whenever you call read method for the first time, instead of reading 1 byte, if it can read 1 KB of data at once, right? Then when you are writing, instead of writing 1 byte, 1 byte, 1 byte, if you write 1 KB of data at once, the number of read operations and write operations can be reduced, right? So there is a class called as buffer input stream. Input stream which will use buffering capabilities. Buffer. By using buffer input stream, you can reduce the number of reads. By using buffer output stream, you can reduce the number of writes. So first let me show you how to use buffer input stream. Just see, I'll show you how to debug right now. Till now I didn't show you how to debug your applications. I'll show you how to debug. Okay, so here I'm going to create a new buffer output stream. See how I create. Follow the approach also, please. How I create new buffer output stream. Buffer input stream first I'll do. Buffer input stream. Buffer input stream requires what? Input stream. It's super class. Can I pass file input stream? Yes. So I'll pass file input stream. So this is how I created a buffered reader, buffered input stream. That's a BIS simply. Right? Then what I was doing earlier, file read FIS.read as a BIS dot buffer input stream dot read. Here also it's a BIS dot read. Right? So now I'm not using file input stream dot read, now I'm using buffer input stream dot. So now what is the effect? Buffer input stream, what it will be doing is, it is internally having a byte array of size 8 into 1024, 8 KB. Internally, buffer input class is having instance variable of type byte array, right? Now, whenever I call buff, okay, let me show you how to debug. I'll show you everything. First, concentrate here. See here, I want the JVM, once it executes this line, I want it to come and break here. I am double clicking here, a point is created. That is called as a breakpoint. Double click on this blue bar, you see a point, that's called as a breakpoint. That means if you run your program in debug mode, once the control comes to this line, it will stop. It will wait. Right? So how to run? After I kept a breakpoint, after I double click, I'm just saying right click, debug as Java application. Yes, it will allow me, it asks me to allow access. Yes, allow, just click on allow. What is it saying? This kind of launch is configured to open with debug perspective and it suspend. We have seen Java perspective, Java E perspective. No, this is debug perspective. Whenever you are debugging, you'll be in debug perspective. Just say yes. See, in what perspective are you now? Debug perspective. When you are in debug perspective, these are the windows shown, right? So this window will show you all the threads. See here, the thread, main thread. at line number 15 it is suspended. At line number 15 the main thread is suspended waiting for my input because I hit the breakpoint. Then when you are seeing the threads here, this variable stack will be showing the variables on the top of the stack. When the control is here inside main, what are the local variables? Args, FAS. Args, right? The variables on top of the stack can be seen here. What is the value of args? For the command and argument, right? String array of size 0. And what is the FAS pointing to? File input stream, right? Okay. To go to next line, press F6. I have to press F6. Right? Once I press F6, this line got executed and one more local variable called as BIS is created after buffer input stream, right? Now I'll just expand it. I'll just expand this. See? Internally, these are the variables, instance variables of buffer input stream. Buff, count something. What is buff? I just expand buff. Buff is a byte array, right? Of size, see here, of size 8191, almost 8 KB. 8 KB byte array. Internally inside buffered input stream, there is a byte array of size 8 KB. I'll just click on it. See, what are the values inside the byte array? Initially 0, 0, 0. Till now I didn't execute read. Initially the values of byte array are 0. Now I'll just press F6. Now if I execute this line, it will read how many? 8 KB of data at once. But my file is containing 8 KB? No. Whatever data is available to read and populate this byte array. Right? If I press F6 now, see, the zeros are populated with those values read from the file. I just go here. Yeah, the data is up to here only. From here all are zeros again. My file size is very small, it's not 8 KB, so it has read all bytes at once in memory. Right? And inside which variable? In buffer input stream class, the variable buff is containing all 8 KB of data which it has read at once. So I call read method only once. It has read 8 KB. Right? But what is the return value of this read method? Just check. It is returning. It does not return all 8 KB of data. You call it first time, it will return you first byte. Again, if you call second byte, it will give second byte from memory. It will not go to the byte. Right? So now it has returned first byte. I'm checking, is it end of file? No. F6. See, this line is printed, first character is printed. Then if I write, it will write to file. Then F6. Now this will call again BIS.read. For the first time when I read, I got first byte. Second time, if I call BIS.read, will it go to file now? No, already 8 KB of data is read. So it will return from the memory itself. Right? Okay, like that will go. But once all 8 KB of data is finished, let's say that my file size is 1 MB, 8 KB is finished, then again if I call read after 8 KB is finished, it will go again to file, fetch next 8 KB of data. Right? So the number of reads are reduced if you are using buffered input stream, hence the performance. Right? So okay, now I just want to continue. F6, if I press, what will happen? It will come to next line and stop again. If I press F8, it will continuously go till next breakpoint. I didn't have a breakpoint now. It will terminate. F8 terminated. So the output of the program will be exactly same, reading from a file and writing, but number of read operations are reduced. Right? So to do this program, similar to buffered input stream, there is something called as buffered output stream. Here till now I was using file output stream. and using file output stream dot write. Now modify the same program to write using buffer output stream also. Do it. So I'm just writing it. New buffered output stream. It requires output stream, so I'll pass file output stream. So here I will say BOS dot write. That's all. After the while loop, BOS dot flush. So we are explicitly flushing, even though the buffer is not full. Now you run it. It will work. The output will be exactly same. No, it's 1 KB, right? We'll take a break. Only 2 lines of code. I created buffer output stream here, and instead of writing file output stream dot write, I use. But you have to be very careful when using buffer output stream dot write, because write method, whenever you call write, it is not actually writing to the file. It is writing to the internal byte array buffer. So when the buffer will be returned to the file, the buffer is full. If your file size is less than the buffer size, you end up not writing. So you have to call flush. Flush will explicitly force the bytes what are present into the right. And one more thing is, whenever you are opening something, you should close. Right? Here you are opening buffer output stream. You need to close it. So you need to call buffer output stream dot close. You have to close it. Till now I didn't close it, but you have to close it, right? Buffer output stream dot close. But remember, buffer output stream dot close I called, but did I call file output stream dot close? See, file output stream reference is given to buffer output stream. If you close buffer output stream, automatically it will close. Similarly, if you close buffered input stream, file input stream. See, for buffered input stream, I got the reference of. So if we just close the external one, internal one will be automatically, right? And one more thing is, whenever you are calling close, right? Close is internally calling flush. Now you need not call flush. If you are closing, you need not call flush, because whenever you are trying to close buffer output stream, it will flush the stream, flush the buffer, and then close. So whenever you are calling buffer output stream but close, you need not flush explicitly. BOS.flush is not required. Okay. Then the next thing is, the next requirement is, till now it was very fine. I was reading 1 byte, writing 1 byte, reading 1 byte, writing 1 byte. So I have byte as output, I am writing bytes. But now what I have is, I have a string in my variable. I have string variable. I want to write the content of the string to file. Right? What I did, I read the content from file, same content I wrote to file right now, but not that one. I have some string in my memory. I want to write a string into. Let's see how to do it. I just write a new class for demonstrating. First you see, then I'll give you time to do it. New class stream demo, I'll say. Okay, why I said like this, you'll understand. Now I will create a buffered output stream like earlier. I want to write, do not read, I want to write. So I created buffered output stream. It's throwing some exception. I just copy pasted same lines. Okay, then I want to say buffered output stream dot write. Oh, see, there are three overloaded write methods. One which is taking int is the one which I use. There is one which is taking byte array, right? So now actually what I want to do, as I said, I have a string variable. I want to write the contents of string to file. See, how I want is, this is a string contents is equals to hello. I have a string like this, right? But write method, is there any write method which will take string? No, it will take byte array. Now I have to convert the string to byte array and then file. Right? So let's see how to convert it. I'll say contents dot there's a method called as get byte, which will give a byte array for the string, right? Now finally I'll say this is throwing some exception, just throw it. Okay, now bos dot close. That's all. Simple. A string should be written. Let's see whether it will work or not. Okay, I have executed, no exceptions. I'll go to file system and see the contents. Test. I'll just open it. Got it? So this is how to write a string, right? But I don't want to write a string. I want to write an int now. I have a variable int I is equals to 10. Okay. Then how to write this bos.write? Is there any method which will take int? Yes. So I'll just pass I. Let's see what will happen. Okay. Do you think that you will see 10 inside the file? Let's see. I'll just close it and open it again. What is there? Nothing is there. Just open it with edit plus. Not saying anything. Okay, instead of 10 I'll write, I think 10, or I'll say 100. Again I'll run. I wrote 100, but I thought D. ASCII value. But I don't want that. I want to write 100 only. How to write 100? Then you write ASCII value of 100. Find out the ASCII value of 100 and then write it. Then you will get 100 inside your string. So it is split, right? So there is no convenient way to print primitive types. Not only float, double, boolean, you cannot write directly, right? So for that purposes, if you want to write primitive types, there is a class called as print stream. We saw buffer output stream. Now another class, print stream. Print stream is a class similar to buffer output stream. That means print stream also is internally using buffering, but it has convenient print methods to print in, boolean, float, double, string, anything, right? So let's see how to use print stream. New, let's say new print stream. So print stream, there are a lot of concepts. The one which will take file object, the one which will take output stream, the one which will take string. Which is better? That I can give the path, right? So I just take the third one. And pass same file name. Print stream, right? Then see here, ps dot. See, there are a lot of overloaded print methods. How many print methods? The one which is like boolean, the one which is like char, character, double, float, int, long, object, string. Things. So I want to use print method which is taking int. I'll pass I, and then finally I have to close ps dot. Now I just run it. Let's see whether I'll see 100 or not. So I have a boolean variable. Now I'll say ps dot print v. Now if I run it, I should be able to see 100 and then false. So I can add anything. I can add a boolean, char, character, a string, object, anything. Right? So printstream is having a lot of convenient print methods. Printstream, is it using for buffering? Yes, it is internalizing buffering. So which is better? Do you want to use buffered output stream now? If buffer output stream is doing, you can do the same thing with print stream, but lot of convenient methods. So we always use print stream. We don't use buffer output stream. We always use print stream. Right? And also one more advantage of print stream. In C language, you have printf method. You like printf method, right? The basic one. Similar printf method. In printf, can you format output? Percentage 10d, if I say 10 space will be allocated and it will be right justified. Minus 10d, left justified. So you have formatting things. Same things can be done with the printf method present in print stream. So I'll say print ps dot print f. See, first one is format. Second parameter is what? Important thing. What is that? Object dot dot dot. Variable arguments. You can pass n number of parameters of type variable arguments, or we call it as var args. So first format I will say percentage 5d space comma percentage minus 10 f. Okay, then I'll pass 2 comma 2.45 f. Right? So this is similar to printf method. Let me run it. See here. See, percentage 5d, 5 spaces are left and right justified. Minus 10d. Right? So you have similar your favorite printf method also inside print stream, so that you can format accordingly. Right? Just try this example. One thing is, till now we were already using print stream without knowing. See here, I'll just close this. I'll just comment out this. We were already using print string. I'll say system dot out. System dot out dot println we are using. System is a class and out is a static variable of the print stream. We are using it. System dot out dot println. We are printing to console by default. Right? Now, once you know that out is pointing to print stream, I have one more requirement. When I say system dot out dot println, why should it point to console only? If I say system dot out dot println, I should write to my file. Right? So what I'll do is, I want to set the output stream to point to my file. Set out. I'll pass. It requires what? Out is the what type? Print stream. Right? I will pass this print stream object. Set out. Setting it. Okay.
Then I'll say system.out.println something, whatever you want you can write. Now I'll execute. Let's see whether I'll get the contents in my. I'm not getting any output. If I open the console, nothing. I'll just open the same file. Right? So you can make your system.out to point to whatever file or anything else. You have done it. Then you want to set it back. System dot set out. Now again you have set it back to console. Now again I'll print. I should see this AAA into the console, and this should go to, and whatever I have done. Testing should go to file, and this should come to console. Let me check. I saw AAA only in console. Testing went to file. AA is into console, right? Okay, now once you understand about all that, now till now what we did, we have read byte, written byte, but characters are there in my file. A, B, C, D, some characters are there. I know that I am reading characters, but instead of reading bytes like earlier, I want to read one character, one character, one character. So combination of 2 bytes is one character, is it? Combination of 2 bytes is nothing but one character. What is the size of byte? What is the size of cat? In C it was 1. In Java it is 2 bytes. What is size of int in Java? 4 bytes. In C it was 2 bytes. Right? 2 bytes together is nothing but a cat. Earlier I was reading byte. Now I don't want to read bytes. I know that my file is containing characters, so I want to read characters, right? So for reading characters, you have different set of classes. For reading, you have a class called as reader to read characters. For writing, you have a class called as writer for writing. So let's see readers and writers. I'll just show you the documentation. In java.io there is a class called as reader for reading. In reader class there is a method called as read. What does this read do? It will read a single character. Okay. So if I want to read characters, I want an object of reader. But can I create an object of reader? No, it is abstract class. I want some subclass. See here, is there something like file reader somewhere? No, right? But there is something called as input stream reader, a reader which can read from an input stream, right? So I'll just go inside it. Is it abstract class? No, I can create an object of input stream reader. See the constructor. What does this require? The constructor. Input stream, as the name says, it will read from some input stream, right? Can I pass file input stream here? So file input stream reader reads from a input stream. Or if you observe here, directly known subclass for input stream reader is file reader. If you want to read characters from a file, you can use file reader. If you want to read characters from a network socket, can you use file reader? If you want to read from a socket, from over network directly, you cannot use file reader. You have to use input stream reader, right? But
now I want to read from file, so I am using file reader. I am not sure whether we have a topic of creating sockets. If we have socket programming, then I will show you how to read from sockets. Okay, right now I want to read from files. I will use file reader. File reader is a subclass of input stream reader. What all constructors does it have? There is a constructor to take file object, and there is a constructor to take file path, file name. Right? I will use this one simply. Simple. See, first see, I'll give you time to do it. I will create a new class for reader. New class reader demo. Take main. I will create an object of file reader. I want to read from a file, so new file reader. It will take string. What is the path? I'll just copy paste my previous path. I want to read from the same file, hello world.java. So this is throwing some exception. I'll just declare it throws. If a main is throwable, everything can be thrown, right? So file reader, right? Then file reader dot read. What does this do? It will read one character, but will cast that character into int. It will read one character, but it will give the ASCII value of the character. It will read one character, not give me like a character. Give me the ASCII value. So read method will be returning int data is equals to, right? Now read method, as earlier it will return -1 if end of the file is reached. So I write while loop, while data not equals to -1, system.out.println. I am having an ASCII value. To convert it to char, then I will write next character, right? So the output will be same, reading from the file, but now it is more efficient because instead of reading byte, I am reading character. You read one character and give me the ASCII value of the character. Okay, one thing, in C you use ASCII code, right? I was using ASCII code by mistake. In Java we don't use ASCII code. What is it? Unicode. In Java we don't use ASCII code, we use Unicode. What is the value of small a in C? Did you still remember? Small a? But the value of small a in Java, if you print, it will not be the next term, it will be some other value. Like Unicode is just similar to ASCII, but the values are different, okay? So in Java we use Unicode. So we are getting the Unicode value. If I run it, I just get the same output of my file. Yeah. Oh, why? I used println. Now if I run it, right? The same thing. Now what I want you to do is write the same program and use file writer. I want to write characters. So there is something called as file writer. Write file writer. Use file writer and write it to something. Just do it quickly. File writer. Write new file writer, and the path I'll just copy paste the same thing. mysys.test.java. So file writer dot write, right? But remember, file writer is internally using some sort of buffering, you need to flush file writer dot flush, or if you just say file writer dot close, automatically it will flush before doing it. That's it. I have made the program to write to a file also. Is this code good? Again no, because it is reading one character. Previously in streams we saw buffer input stream, buffer output stream. In readers we have buffer reader, buffer writer. So just see the documentation and modify the same program to use buffer reader and buffer writer. That is just like the earlier program, how we use buffer input and buffer output. Just modify the same program to use buffer reader and buffer writer. Just write it. I'll say new buffer reader buffer reader requires reader. Can I pass file reader? Yes. So I got buffer reader object. Similarly, I'll create buffer writer. New buffered writer requires writer object. I'll pass writer right. So now instead of file reader dot read, I need to say buffer reader dot read, and here instead of reading buffer file writer dot write, I will say buffer writer dot write here also. Here and here also buffer writer dot close, buffer writer. That's it. We are done. Let's see if it works. Yeah, you should be able to see it as Java with same contents. That's all. This is the efficient program. Here you have written to read character by character. Now I don't want to read character by character. I want you to read line by line and write line by line. Just do that and check whether you are getting the expected output or not. See here, I will say buffered reader dot read line. It will return me a line as a string. Now read line method will return null if end of file is reached. Whenever you are writing the program, habituate to see the documentation like this. What is it returning? A string containing the contents of the line, not including line termination character. Line termination character is what /n. So it will return a string without /n or null if end of string is reached. So you have to write a loop until you get null. So see here, I will just say while line not equals to null, I'll say system dot, I'll just say buffer writer dot write line, and then I will read next line of data. Okay, and then finally buffer writer is closed and buffer writer is closed. Let's see if I'm getting the same output. I'll just open the file. See, I'm getting everything in a single line. I'll just open it with edit plus. See, everything I got in a single line. Why? Because read line is returning without /n. I am writing just like one, right? Can I write line plus /n? Let's see. Just open it again. I got the output, but is it good? No. Writing /n is not good because in Windows operating system /n means new line. But if it is Unix based, what is new line character? If it is Unix, what is new line? Slash or /n? if you remember. Slash or slash n. Carriage written slash or slash n. Right? So slash n, if you write it, your code will not be again platform independent, because slash n does not mean new line in all the operating systems. Sometimes it might be slash or slash n, and sometimes it might be slash n. Right? So what you need to do is, if you want your program to be platform independent again, you should not hard code slash n. You should say write buffered writer dot new line. There is a method called as new line, which will output the new line character depending upon the operating system. So you have to use buffered writer dot new line so that your code will behave same in all the operating systems. Earlier I showed you print stream is better than buffer output stream, because print stream is having lot of convenient methods to print each byte, boolean, everything. Similarly, I will show you again another class. There is a class called as print writer, better than buffer writer, because if you see buffer writer, there is no convenient methods to print int, char, double, boolean, everything. Print writer is a class which is internally using buffering just like buffer writer, and also it has convenient print methods to print int, boolean, character, float, character array, string, everything. So always we use print writer instead of buffer writer. I'll just show you a simple demo on that quickly. Similar to print stream, we have print writer. So I'll just write a new class, print writer demo. So here I just want to write one int, one string, one boolean. So I'll create variable string yes is equals to something, boolean b is equals to true, int I is equals to 20. So I want to write all this. What I'll do is I'll create a print writer object, new print writer. Print writer constructor is taking, there are a lot of overloaded constructors. There is one which is taking file, or you can put file object or output stream, lot of things are there. So we'll take a simple thing right now. Print writer which is taking string. I'll copy paste the path. I always believe in copy paste and typing. As if you want to become a successful developer, one habit you should make it is copy paste. Then only you can become a successful developer. You should know where to copy and where to paste it also. Just okay, then I'll say out dot println. Lot of println methods are there, one which takes boolean, one which takes char, int, everything is it. So I'll just pass I out dot println, which will take boolean b, out dot println, which will take yes, then finally out dot close. I'll just run it. Let's see whether the file contains those or not. Yeah, see, I got it right. And also in print writer you have printf method, just like you have printf method there. Similar printf method, out dot printf, similar printf method, right? So always we use print writer instead of buffer writer. There is no point using buffer writer. We always use print writer, the best. You to read a JPG file. Reading. JPG is nothing but bytes. Which one? Which stream? For reading. File input stream is better or something else is better? Which input stream? Print stream is for writing, for reading. Buffer input stream, right? So if you want to read some audio file, video file, buffer input stream. If you want to write audio file, video file, buffer output stream. No, not buffer output stream. Print stream. If you want to read characters and write characters, you use buffer reader, print writer. Right? Right? So tell me, can I read an image by using buffer reader? Can I read an image from by using buffer reader and write it using print writer? Instead of reading in my earlier program, I have read a .java file and wrote a .java file. Can't I make it .jpg and write it to .jpg file? Same program, will it work? Yes, it will work. But it is not an efficient way because readers are designed. Readers and writers are designed. Oh, this is the input stream. Huh? Okay. If you say buffer reader, writer. Readers are designed to perform well on characters. Of course, by using readers and writers, you can read image file and write an image file, but it's not efficient. So that's about various streams, important streams, right? Now, any doubts till now? Let's go ahead with this. If you have any. We have seen how to read from file and write to a file. We have seen how to read bytes, write bytes. We have seen how to read characters, how to write characters. Now, what I want to do is I want to read objects, write objects. Right? Objects, what do they contain? Values of instance variables. Or I can say, they contain state of my application. Can I say like this? In my application, at a particular point of time, if I take, there might be a number of objects in heap. Right? All objects will be having some instance variables and their values. Can I say that objects contain state of my application? My application will be having some state. I can say that object contains state of my application. Let's take an example. I think you are good at playing video games. Have you played cricket? So let's assume that you are playing cricket game. There are a lot of objects. Fielders, batsman, bowler, and ball is an object, bat is an object, stump is an object, lot of objects. If that cricket game was created in Java, there are a lot of objects, right? Suppose if at a particular point of time, if I ask what is the score? Score is stored in some object, right? How many wickets? That's also stored in some object. So at a particular point of time, if I want to know what is the state of your game, how many? If I ask what is the state of the cricket game now, how many wickets are gone? How many balls bowled? How many runs scored? That is the state of your, right? So every application will have a state. State of an application is nothing but the values inside your. Now, can you pass your cricket game and play tomorrow? Yes. If you want to pass, if you pass your game tomorrow, when you resume, will you resume from the same point? That means if you want to resume tomorrow, the state of all objects that are existing right now should be saved into a file. So we may sometimes want the objects to be written to files or database, whatever. And we may want to read the objects, right? Writing objects to a stream, input stream out. Writing objects is done to which stream? Output stream. Writing objects to stream is called as serialization, and reading objects from stream is called as deserialization. So we are going to understand how to serialize an object and how to deserialize an object. Let's go ahead. So for demonstration purpose, what I'll do is I'll create an employee object. Right? I want to write employee object, read employee object. Let's see what all issues we face in this, and we'll discuss the concepts. New class employee. I will have some variables private int employee ID private string name private int salary getters and setters. So what I want to do is I want to create an object of employee, write it to stream and read from stream again, write it to a file and read from file again. Right? So I'll just write a new class, writing objects. First I'll write an object, then I'll read the same object. I take main, okay. So first I'll create employee object, employee is equals to new employee, e dot set id, employee id 1 2 3, e dot set name, I'll write my name Shiva, e dot set salary, some salary, okay. Now I want to write objects. To write an object, there is a class called as object output string. Object output string. That's all. Just I gave you this here. Just create an object of object output stream. I want to write objects to some file. Just create an object. I just wanted to see from. I am creating new object output stream. What it requires? Output stream. Actually, I want to write a file. Can I pass file output stream? Yes. Output stream is subclass, superclass of file output stream. I wanted to write a file. I'll pass an object of file output stream. File output stream requires the file name. I'll write C F colon mysys slash object out dot scr. Generally, it is a convention. The extension of the file which contains objects will be scr. As I said, writing objects stream is called as serialization. .scr file will contain serialized objects. It's a convention. You can make it as .txt also. It doesn't matter. But following the conventions, the extension should be scr. Okay, this is throwing some exceptions. I'll just throw them. I will take it an object output stream reference OOS is equals to, then once we have the object of object output stream, then I'll say object output stream dot write object. There are a lot of write methods. For writing object we have write object. Write object is taking what? Object. Can I pass employee object? That's it. Finally, we had to say object output stream dot close. Let me check if that works. Oh, I got an exception. What is it? It's saying not serializable exception. It is saying employee object cannot be serialized. Writing an object is called serialization. Writing an object to stream is called serialization. But it is saying cannot serialize employee. Okay. One important thing you need to understand is JVM will not allow all objects to be serialized. If an object has to be serialized, the class has to implement an interface called as serializable, present in java.io package. Right? The JVM will not allow all objects to be serialized. An object has to be serialized. It has to implement serializable interface. So make your employee to implement serializable interface. Right? Interface will contain abstract methods. Whenever I make a class implement an interface, I have to implement the methods present inside it. But what all methods are present in serializable? I'm not getting any error also, right? So let's see the documentation. Java.io dot interface is serializable interface. Let's see any methods present inside this. There are no methods inside the interface. Serializable interface is not having any methods. Why? Then why interface? Generally interface we make it to contain abstract methods and we implement those methods here. Interface is there without any methods. Without the purpose, I don't see any purpose. Interface without methods. Such interfaces which do not have any methods are called as marker interfaces. Serializable interface is a marker interface. As the name says, it's a marker. It will just indicate the JVM. The JVM can recognize that this object can be serialized. This object can be written to string. So whenever JVM wants to write an object, it will see, is this class implementing serializable? If yes, it will allow. If no, it will throw it. Right? So by making your class to implement serializable, you are just giving a hint to JVM. JVM can understand, can I serialize this object or not? So it is just acting like a marker. It's just indicating something to JVM. Right? Such interfaces are called as marker interfaces. Right? It's just like your security at your security gate will allow a person to enter into the premises if he is having a tag. So how does he know that I am employee of MySys or I am a visitor of MySys if I have a MySys tag? Right? So similarly, JVM will allow an object to be serialized just by checking if this object implements serializable or not. If it is implementing, it will allow to be serialized, otherwise. Right? So this ID card is acting like an identifier for me. If I just wear this ID card, okay, the security will allow. He will think that I am part of MySys and he will allow me. Similarly, this is acting like a marker for me. It is marking that I am a part of MySys, right? A visitor of MySys. Similarly, if a class is implementing serializable, JVM can just understand. Okay, this object can be serialized. Just a marker interface, right? So now I will run this writing objects. Let's see. I didn't get any exception. Terminated. Let's see, in the file system I have object out.scr. I'll just open it. Oh, something is written which I don't understand, which only JVM will understand. Yeah, of course I can make some sense of it, but I cannot completely understand this because it is serialized by JVM. JVM only can understand it. It's using some formula. So I have written one object to string. Right? Later I'll show you how to read that object. First complete this. To read, we have object input string. Just create a new class for reading. I'll just create a new class reading objects. Main method. Here for reading I require object input stream. So I'll try to create an object of object input stream, new object input stream. Here object input stream requires what? Input stream. Can I pass file input stream? Yes. So I'll pass new file input stream. File input stream requires a path. I want to read from the same file, so I'll just copy paste. So I created an object of object input stream. It's throwing some exceptions. I'll declare that it throws object input stream OIS. Now once you have object input stream, simple, very simple, OIS dot what? Write object for writing, read object for reading. Read object is returning object, but you know that you are reading employee. So employee, right? So if it is really red, I'll just try to print the name, ID and salary. So I'll just print name plus e dot get name. Similarly, I'll print salary e dot get salary. That's all. I can print ID also. For now, I'll just run this. Let us check whether it will really print. Yes, these are the output which I have written already. Right? It has read. In employee, I have 3 fields right now: ID, name, and salary. But I feel that salary is confidential, and I don't want salary to be written into string. Whenever I write an employee object, I don't want salary to be written into string because I feel that salary is confidential or due to some other reason. I don't want this salary to be serialized. So what I should do is, I should make this variable as transient. If I make a variable transient, the meaning is it will not be serialized. When you serialize employee object now, salary will not be written. Right? Now just again run the write object and then read it again and check whether salary is written or not. First you write, first you execute writing object, it is written. So I expect that salary is not written. I will now run it. See, the value of salary is what? 0. The default value of it is 0, right? So if you make a variable transient, it will not be serializable. Here, see here for some time, I'm just commenting out all this. I'll just say OIS dot read object I will take it in a reference of object only instead of right. Just notice here something what I want to tell this. In my system, I have serialized employee object and transfer the file to some other person, right? In that machine, if you are trying to run this code, right, on that machine also employee class should be present, because when you are reading, what this read object is doing, it is trying to create an object of employee. Once it sees the serialized file, it understands, okay, I am reading employee object. It will try to find employee object in the class. If it is not found, it will throw class not found exception, right? If you see read object method is throwing class not found exception. See, read object method is declared that it throws class not found exception, because read object method will try to read the serialized file, understand that okay, I am reading an employee object, it will try to load that class. If the class is not present, it will throw, right? Okay. Now, what do I mean by an object is created? Read object method is creating an object of employee by reading from the file, right? What do I exactly mean by object is created? Variables are allocated memory, right? Do I mean that constructor is called? Object is created means, do I mean constructor is called? Object is created means memory is allocated to instance variables. Generally, whenever I am using new operator, immediately after object is created, constructor is called generally, right? But remember, during deserialization, constructor is not called. Why? Because in constructor, what do we keep? We keep the code for initializing the instance variables with default value, right? So after serialization, Do I want employee object with default values? No, I want the values in the file to be populated here. Right? So this read object will just create an object of employee, but constructor is not called. Right? This is a scenario where a constructor is not called after object is created. Generally in all scenarios, immediately after object is created, constructor is called. But during DC, where you remember, constructor is not called. Let's prove it. I'll just create an empty constructor here inside employee, and I'll just write system.out.println inside employee constructor. Now I will write the object. While writing, you saw, because I created using you saw the output of constructor, right? Now I will execute reading objects. No, right? Okay, I'll just comment this line and I'll uncomment these lines. So here you are sure that employee object is created. See, I didn't see the one in constructor. I am seeing only. Right? So during deserialization, remember, constructor is not called. Memory is allocated for all the instance values. Constructor is not called. Here. Last thing for the day. Some two use cases in this. I have a class called as address, which is having string city, string country, right? I have a class called as employee, which is internally having private address. Employee is having an instance variable of type address, right? Address is not implementing serializable. I will make my employee to implement serializable, right? Now, if I try to serialize employee object, will it be serialized? Will serialization be successful? As I said, what is the rule for serialization? It should implement serializable. My employee is implementing serializable, but employee is having a variable called address which is not implementing serializable. So whenever you are serializing an object, make sure that all the instance variables of that class also implement serializable. If address is not implementing serializable, the whole employee serialization will fail. You will get an exception, right? So if I want to avoid exception, what I can do is, one option is I can make address implement serializable, or another option is to make this variable as transient. If you make a variable transient, it will not be serialized anyway, no problem, right? Next, last case for the day. I have a class called as employee, which is implementing serializable, right? And I write a class called as manager. Manager also is an employee. Extends employee, right? Can I serialize manager object now? Manager, is it implementing serializable now? No. Manager is extending employee. Employee is implementing serializable. Indirectly, manager also is implementing serializable. So I can serialize manager, right? But now the reverse scenario: employee is not implementing serializable. Manager is implementing serializable, right? Can I serialize employee manager now? Yes, I will be able to serialize manager, but what happens is In employee, let's say I have ID and salary, ID, CT and salary. The variables of employee will not be returned. Only the variables of manager will be serialized. The variables of employee will not be serialized. Okay? Only the variables of manager will be serialized. When you deserialize again, when you read object again, these values of employee instance variables will be default. You have default values, right? So in this case, if employee is not implementing serializable and manager is implementing serializable, we will be able to serialize manager, but only the variables of manager will be serialized. The variables of employee will not be serialized, right? So that's it for the day.